Hello, and welcome to another Cosmonarchy Casual Leaderboard Castover. In this four-match series, we see the Shambler versus Mystery Meat. Do you know these two players are number 2 and number 1 respectively on the current Ascension leaderboard? Mystery has 2 event wins, while the Shambler has 1. Let's see what these two tournament champions have in store for us today. In this first match, we see them on Hills of Tyche, which might be another map by the Shambler. Looks like we have Mystery Meat here as the neon blue Protoss. And the Shambler as green Zerg. We see Shambler going for a fast scout. He's probably noticing the rather large size of this map, and he doesn't want to be behind on information from his opponent. He's even sending a second Drolith out to scout, but he will realize here shortly, if he goes to this base, that Mystery is not too far away. Mystery is also worried about air units. He's most certainly going to be putting a warded down in his mineral line. Now, did Shambler catch this? He didn't. He didn't see the Nexus. Or at the very least, maybe he didn't reveal enough of it for it to be on the minimap, but he is leaving the Drolith here, so he must have seen something. And he's bringing this one back. Okay, so he must have seen it. Oh, we see a lattice coming out of Mystery Meat. He likely wants access to vassals so he can quickly scout this map. Mystery thought to himself about using one of his precious scribes to go running around in this big circle, and he said, nah, I don't want to do that. We're going to see fast naths out of the Shambler, but if Meat can have just a couple of vassals ready, he will be able to riposte what would be otherwise possibly a very deadly early attack. Yep, they're on the way. Shambler wastes no time taking the opportunity to establish dominance. He is going to... Oh, he tried to expand. There it is. So, Meat will realize that there is a base over here. His screen was not over there. Ooh. The vassal goes down. One was not queued up. We do have a vassal retreating from the other side of the map, and he's bringing home this one. And Mystery GG's out. He just cannot handle the pressure of that early Nathercore push. And he had the right idea here, placing his pylon, but he didn't go for the early Warden, which likely would have saved him from this fate. Okay, so let's make a note here. 1 win for the Shambler. Let's go on to the next battle. They will be returning to the Hills of Tyche. Looks like we've got random spawns on this map. So we will see the Shambler spawn on the north base as Lemon Zerg. You know, I want to say I haven't seen this color before, but I think I have seen the color, I just never moused over the name. And interestingly enough, we have the Mystery, who is now green Protoss. He stole Shambler's color from the last match. So we see another pylon by the Nexus here. So Mystery is still feeling the need to kind of coil up to make himself feel secure. He's not too interested in walling off his ramp. There is only one entrance into the base. We see Shambler scouting with 2 Droleths once again. So, we see they have even workers, but Shambler really only has 9 workers in his base. Now 8. Shambler locates his opponent. Sees him going for a fast lattice once again. Fortunately, Shambler does go for the fast expand, so if Mystery pumps out vassals and gives Shambler a taste of his own medicine, he's not going to have anything to defend with. That lattice will be finishing momentarily. I heard the sound of... Oh, yep, it died. Shambler's poor Droleth sacrificed to the Scribe mineral line. Meanwhile, Mystery is taking a look at the fact that his opponent has no tech structures. He's only just now put down his Quasar pull. That's not a good for Shambler at all. We already have a vassal on the way. It's going to be a long time before... Well, he can get that Spore Colony online before any real serious worker damage is done. Yep, there it is. Kagrun's halfway done as the vassal arrives. We'll start tickling a worker. The burrow is triggered. And the cheese begins. The cheese is cut, ladies and gentlemen. We have 2 wardens going down inside Shambler's base. He is going to try and poke at them. We have some Zethar cores that are on their way out. These wardens are probably not going to survive the onslaught of Zethar cores here. Nope. Just... Oh, I don't think he canceled that either. Yeah, he's canceled that one. Did not cancel that one. That is just brutal. He is committed. Mystery Meat says, no, I'm putting my foot down in your base. I don't care what you do. If you want me out, you're going to have to build some circuits. I do see Shambler getting some Quasilisks. He is trying to reinforce from his expansion. This is smart. See lots of extra Zethar cores coming in. And the attempt to put a foothold down in Shambler's base has been warded off. Now we see lots of units coming out of Shambler, while Mystery Meat at home is getting a worker advantage, although he's only just now put down another production structure. He did spend a lot of money on those wardens, but now what does he have to show for it? He's got some vassals running around outside of his base. He has a vassal coming out at home. He's got 1 warden in his mineral line that's about to get completely eviscerated. This is not good for Mystery Meat. Can the vassals save the day? That is the question. Okay. Shambler's harassment was not nearly as effective as it could have been. He may have forced a cancel on the lattice, but if I was him, I would have forced down that warden and the mineral line and tried to kill a couple of workers before all the vassals arrived. So we're seeing a Kagrun in the mineral line of the expansion. There are 2 idle workers that's not being harvested from. Shambler is desperately trying to catch back up on Droleths. We see him morphing one after another. He feels kind of safe for right now. He's got a fair bit of Quasilisks that can ward off a little horde of vassals here and there. We do have a sizable number of vassals, however, coming out from Mystery Meat, who is continuing to construct more. We see expansion go down. Perhaps this will even out to be a somewhat longer game. Finally have some workers mining from the expansion for Shambler. We see another Cesian going down. It's going to be 2 Spraiths in the mineral line for Shambler. We have one down here in his expansion. But he's very serious about telling these vassals to stay off his lawn. He says, I don't want you here. Yep, 2 vassals will go down in exchange for a worker. Not the most cost-efficient trade, but it is a slight annoyance for the Shambler, who is now getting a Hydrith Den. He says, I need something that packs a little bit more of a punch. We could see Aziracors in order to zone and pressure the vassals who just cannot resist the crushing tide. Or we could see some Skithracors. That's what they're called, Skithracors. Meanwhile, we see a adequate SimCity layout from Mystery Meat, who is getting an Ardent Authority. Meanwhile, his base is powered off of just 1 pylon. It drives me crazy when I see that. Come on, guys, you have to build more than 1 pylon. Like, how is this even powered off of this pylon? He's, like, right on the edge. Meanwhile, these manifolds are stuck. And we do see just partial saturation on the gas for Mystery Meat. Meanwhile, the vassals are moving out here, getting tickled by some Quasilisks, which, I think he could have dispatched a few more of those if he had maneuvered his units a bit. That is going to be a 3rd base for the Shambler going up, and a 4th base going down on the other side of the map. We have a cheeky base from the Shambler. He doesn't want to be discovered. He wants to make more money, and he thinks he can get away with it. But will Meat let him? That is the question. We have a macro hatch going down in the main. We do see a total of 3 Spraith colonies. Idle workers being accompanied soon by more idle workers. Oh, see, yep, 1 took his place because he is now. This is probably going to become a circuit colony. We have so we have symmetrical SimCity structure placement on either side of the map. This is the secret to being tournament player, guys. You have to put your static defense on either side of your building like this. How silly. I wonder if he'll do it here, too. I don't think I've seen any. Okay, there's an Aziracor coming out of his macro hatch. Another Aziracor here. And he does the same exact thing. That's really funny to me. We got an embassy and a positron in the main for Mystery Meat. I wonder if Meat is going to go for a witness and try to get some vision on Shambler. He wants to know what he's been doing all this time that he's been slowly letting him regain the lead on workers and spread around the map. We see 2 Acantors that are going to begin munching away at this force of light Zerg units. Meanwhile, the idols, the manifolds, the vassals will provide a backline. Yeah, this is really good for Mystery Meat. He wants these vassals to die over the Acantors and give them that very helpful attack speed increase. There is complete devastation of the Shambler's forces, thanks to Mystery Meat's army. Shambler agrees. What is he going to do about it is the question here. We're going to see more static defense go down that will be quickly taken care of by the Acantors. We are going to see engrams from Mystery Meat, who is looking to establish a permanent foothold here in Shambler's territory. He notices this and says, "Why?" The envoy does arrive to tote these Acantors around. They could not have walked from here to here to begin the siege on their own. It was simply too far. It's too much. And I'm going to assume that was Shambler leaving. Alright, that's one win for Mystery Meat. Alright, the third match. We are back at the Hills of Tyche. They are very serious about testing out this map. We will see Mystery Meat as the deep Periwinkle Protoss, and the Shambler as Beaster Brown. I still don't know how to say that. Air, Shambler says. Air is what we do. He's trying to play a psychological game with Mystery Meat. He wants to convince him to go fast Stargate. So we are going to see Shambler begin scouting in the wrong direction. Meanwhile, Mystery Meat is sticking to his infrastructure layout, putting the pylon in front of his nexus. He's going for lattice again. It's the third game in a row. Mystery is down to prove that fast lattice is the winning strategy against Zerg. Now, the question is he very committed to cheesing the Shambler with vassals, or is he going to do something a little bit different this game? Maybe we'll see some simulacrums. Another Quasith pull from the Shambler. He is not going to fast expand this game as he did in the last one. Oh, okay, I was going to say, Mystery Meat sees the Kagra, and he charges into the mineral line to gather information about his opponent. He does begin tickling some Droleths. They are not able to do hull damage to the Scribe. Meanwhile, Shambler has scouted the entire map except for his opponent's base. And he does realize now exactly where his opponent is, with 2 Nether cores on the way to put Mystery Meat down for good. Meanwhile, we see a wayward pylon in Shambler's natural expansion. Meanwhile, it looks like Mystery Meat did learn from his previous mistakes and has put down an early Warden in his mineral line, with a Manifold and a Vassal at home to take care of this just 2 Nathracor threat. It is not going to be enough for the Shambler to lay any pressure on Mystery Meat. Even with the backup Nathracors. I think he's going to need some more. Meanwhile, his reinforcements are destroying a scouting scribe and realizing that Mystery Meat has left gifts for the Shambler. And not just 1, but 2 of his expansions. The Shambler will go for a Hydrith Den, looking to unlock additional units. He proclaims his feelings to the world about how it feels to have 2 pylons in your expansions. Now, there is a dogfight emerging between the vassals and the Nathracors. They lead them around back to the Warden, which is able to take a couple of very necessary pot shots. That's 1 weakened Nathracor, which is now joined by 2 more, but they decide to retreat. The Shambler is not interested in losing units just yet. He wants to build up as large of a force as he can, so that he can return and overwhelm Mystery Meat's defenses. He is scouting around. He wants to see if Meat is being active with his vassals at all. He comes in, licks that lattice, finally clears out the pylons, and meanwhile is going to get some Skithercors to accompany his Nathracors, who are dying a horrible death as they chase a manifold around in a circle. It looks like he did lose at least half of his standing force of Nathracors, and the ones that got away have been weakened fairly significantly. I do see, looks like he may have gotten 2 manifolds and maybe a vassal or 2. But we do see a second lattice come online with a golem. He is, Mystery Meat is aware that Shambler seems to be keen on getting a lot of air units, and those golems are really going to help him put an end to that. Shambler takes note of this and reconsiders his approach. He's surely seen that Meat's base is being powered by just 1 pylon. If the Shambler could get in with large enough force, he could disable Mystery Meat's production, and then it would just be a matter of taking out his army. There would be no reinforcements on the way, and the game would be won. But Mystery Meat has an expansion with another Warden, so it seems that is not going to be the case. We're going to see a few... Oh, I said Golem earlier. I meant to say Idol. These idols are starting to mass up quite a bit. We will see some more vassals come out to accompany them. Meanwhile, that's 3 bases online for the Shambler. We are going to see plenty of static defense on the way. No military units being produced in the main. We do see a couple of idle drolets here. Shambler is of the mind to increase his income. He has 3 bases, that is 1 more than Mystery Meat currently has, but Mystery Meat has a 3-worker lead on the Shambler. However, seeing as Shambler is Zerg, that is not going to last very long. Lots of drolets coming up everywhere you can see. Idle drolets, mining drolets, but no fighting drolets. Meanwhile, vassals and Nathracors just barely miss each other. And the Shambler is back to see what has Mystery Meat been up to. Just how many idols did he build? And how many wardens will he put around his nexus before the Shambler goes in for a killing blow? Now, yep, we do see another Ardent Authority with an Incantor from Mystery Meat. However, he has yet to get the embassy. Will we see those envoys appear in order to shuttle those Acantors around the map. Mystery Meat has not been too interested in putting pressure on the Shambler, and I think it's going to cost him as this game progresses. Because we see here, Shambler's putting down a macro hatch in his third. He's got a fair number of drollettes in his expansion. He could use a lot more workers in his main. He is fully saturated on this gas, but he is not. He doesn't have any workers on his ridge, so that's not good. He should definitely reconsider his decision there. This is, not a very large fighting force that the Shambler has been scouting around with here. He's got a decent number of Hydras back at home. He's got some anti-air static defense, which is not, Mystery Meat does have a couple of vassals here, but I don't think they warrant the attention that Shambler is paying to anti-air. Shambler needs to fully saturate his gas. He needs to look at teching up so that he can maintain his aggression, his forward position. We do see Mystery Meat finally poking out across the map. He's slowly brought his siege over. Has he gotten frustrated with moving the Acantor? No, he has not. He has made a third base. He put 3 wardens in it, but there is not 3 pylons. So unfortunately, that is 3, and that's 3, but that's not 3. And meanwhile, we see Shambler's ground force get almost entirely annihilated in a very short period of time. We see 1 Acantor get sniped. And now Shambler is building, he's building some reinforcements. He's got plenty of production structures, but he needs more workers. He needed some circuit colonies here and there. And he just needs more units. And he probably doesn't need Hydras. I think he needed to get a lot of Skither cores. And maybe some Forver cores and Azira cores to distract this ground army while his Skiths come in and snipe that Acantor, and then I don't know, just anything else to break this force. The efficiency here is just not the same. The Hydras cannot snipe these manifolds with this kind of backline supporting them. Now, Shambler does have the benefit that, he can close in on this force from either side. He is able to distract the positrons, whose siege power is ultimately wasted, but it's just not enough. I stand by what I said. I think these 2 macro hatches should have been 2 more bases. Shambler should have saturated his gas earlier. If he had Bactylus ready, if he had, maybe some lurkers, just more ways to zone Mystery Meat's units, that could have gone a lot better for him. But he was greedy. He built a lot of extra production and didn't have the defenders that he needed to finish off that attack. So there you have it. Let's look at that last game. That will be the conclusion of this series between the Shambler and Mystery Meat. Thanks for watching.